I'm going to assume you're already familiar with Rick Beato's conflict with Universal Music Group over fair use. Here we're going to be discussing right to repair and how they're very similar in a social fashion all through society. And by the way, I'm very close to the same age as Rick Beato. So in right to repair, when I was young, or Rick was young, you could fix any amplifier, guitar, piece of electronics. If you made the effort to learn the electronics, you could go out and you could buy a transistor or an IC chip and fix it yourself. In fact, I remember fixing a compact computer back in my 20s. This would be the late 80s. I had to like desolder each little chip, pull it out, put a new one in. And I knew it was a waste of time and money, but I liked it for the challenge and I learned a lot. So when you fix things yourself, you learn how they work. And in fact, some of Rick Beato's most popular videos early on when I started following him was about how Apple forced you into all these different cables and adapters. And his point then is, I don't want to buy a new computer, have to throw everything out. I just want to focus on my music. I just want one adapter that works with everything all the time, right? That doesn't get, pushed out. So anyway, and I still believe, of course, I agree with that. I think who doesn't? So in right to repair, what's happened is the manufacturers have basically started to put these special codes in their chips where if you put the chip in, like especially Apple, like if you put the chip in your MacBook, you go out and you buy the chip. It's a very simple commodity chip. It's not like new technology or anything. It's something, say an op amp that's been around for decades. If you take this commodity chip and you put it in and the computer doesn't detect that it has the right serial number or code in it, it won't work, right? So you can't fix it yourself. So the right to repair is basically a political, in a sense, movement that when we buy something from a manufacturer, that we should be able to fix it ourselves. We should not be locked out from it. We should not have to we should not be forced to send it back to them to get it fixed. And Louis Rossmann, of course, is the big champion of the right to repair. So my right to repair isn't so much about an economic ownership thing. Like I'm not like I want right to repair because I want to be able to fix some gadget I want. I think it's important because that's how I learned electronics. It's how I learned to do things, is by fixing things or trying to improve them or monkey with them. It's very important, like in society, for inventors to be able to work with anything that they have. If you make it, if corporations control all the technology, right, then people just become dumber. So yeah, you'll have students, they'll go and look at the engineering degrees and they can go work at Apple or whatever. And it's not like these people don't go away, but the pool of them shrinks. So now you have only a few self-selected engineers going into these companies, right? The management isn't engineering. They're just looking to make money, to market it in some way to make money. It's another thing that I do videos on this channel about, is how marketing is all often distorting scientific fact, like the 32-bit float thing, or recently with NVIDIA broadcast saying it had a remove feature. So anyway, so what happens is society as a whole gets dumb and people can't rise or find their place if they're inventive. So if a young person is born today, there's less of a chance that they're going to get into technology than when I was younger, because when I was younger, anybody could do it. I have a degree in philosophy. How did I end up making a living in computers, right? Because I had an interest in it, right? And I guess I had a little natural talent, but I didn't have a degree or anything in it. So I think that's very important for a healthy society, that everybody gets to experiment. Everybody gets to do what they want to do. So that's sort of the right to repair. So where Rick Beato comes in is he's an educator, right? He's taking apart music. So he does these videos. He says, okay, how's this song made, right? And again, if you're a musician and you want to know how to make a song, well, you have to listen to what, just like you have to open up, your MacBook and be able to replace a chip, you have to be able to work with the components in any way that you want so that you can see the effects and what works and what doesn't work and understand how to build them yourself. So when you basically when Universal Music Group, they're abusing the whole idea of a copyright is only to protect the artist's economic viability, so they have control, they can make money. It's not meant to say that they can basically say whoever wants it can't get it or can't talk about it. For them to say, okay, Well, you can play 1 second of the music for free or fair use. You can play 5 seconds. 10, you know what I'm saying? It's not meant for that. They're abusing it. Just like right to repair, Apple is abusing our right to repair, our right to ownership, our right to talk about things, to mix things up. We should have the same right to put whatever components we want in a device we bought. If we bought our iPhone, we own it. We should be able to do what we want with it. Some corporation shouldn't decide what we can do only because they want more money, right? That just makes people dumber. It's the same thing in the music industry, right? Or the music, whatever, right? If you're a musician and these corporations are basically saying, oh, you can't talk about this, and if you do this, you see what I'm saying? It's like preventing education. It's making the world artistically dumber. And, Rick Beato is just a point of that. So I just want to point out that this is part of the Rick Beato battle, which I am totally behind, because he's not going to make any money from this, I don't believe, okay? So this is only for smaller YouTubers that hopefully something will happen and Universal Music Group and these other big corporations will back off a bit. We need a whole social-wide thing, a recognition that we should be able to not only own things, but we should be able to do whatever we want with them creatively, whether it's music or electronics or video or filmmaking, whatever. We should be able to do it. So I just wanted to do this video. My take, go Rick, go. If we want a healthy, vibrant, healthy society, people need to be able to create, whether they're doing it with electronics or music or video or whatever.